Alright, this is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. You know, I'm here with limited mobility here in my sling, and my other arm is probably like, I don't know, still 60% usable, 40% non-usable. I can't like stretch my arm out straight and all this kind of stuff, and I can't really do a lot of stuff, but learning to manage and get by. But I figured I'd film another video for you guys, and this one's gonna be pretty easy at that. What we're gonna do today is actually go over my top 7 plants to grow in the hot summer heat in the desert. So whether you live in the desert or somewhere else, these plants will probably do well for you. You know, some of these plants need really good heat to produce well, and many of the others will just produce well wherever you are. So these are some hardcore plants that could take the extreme heats, and you know, even with not so much watering, they're still gonna do great. So let's go on a tour of my backyard garden here and share these 7 crops with you. Check it out, basil, one of my top picks for growing in the extreme heat in the desert. Does really well. I got probably about 7 different kinds of basil in this bed here. One of my favorites actually is this guy right here. It's a Thai basil. It actually looks pretty, and also it hasn't been actually bolting like many of my other basils do. You know, many people might cut back their basils when it does tend to bolt because they want to produce more leaves. I personally don't care. I like it when it bolts because it attracts the bees. I could also go here and pick the flowers and eat the basil flowers. Quite delicious. You could actually cut off the basil tops and use those in food preparation as well as the leaves. It kind of has that basil flavor as well. As well as, you know, I'm going to be letting the seeds drop and see if I get basil coming up randomly in my garden. Plus, by not cutting the tops off, it's less work, especially when you're hurt. So my top crop for growing in the heat of the desert, amazingly enough, it's the okra. These guys are putting out a lot. Like, they put out okras and okras every single day, and I love them so much. You want to remember to harvest them when they're young so they're much more tender and they're delicious. I like to actually eat them raw, chop them up. I make a fabulous seaweed salad out of them, which I may have in a future episode. But the okras have done amazingly well here. Even with little water, they produce good. You know, I haven't been able to grow okra this well before in California with a milder climate, but the extreme heat, these guys really put out. So besides the okra, let's take a look at another crop that's done quite well for me here in the desert. So the next crop that does really well here in the desert is a Solanaceae family crop. So Solanaceae family includes things like tomatoes and peppers, and also the eggplant. Now, while I don't necessarily encourage growing tomatoes because tomatoes don't really take the heat too well, and peppers do a bit better, the eggplants do the best. And check this out, this guy right here, just loaded up with eggplants, and I got different kinds of eggplants. I mean, every place we could look, there's just eggplants ripening up, waiting to be eaten. I got these purple ones, I got some white ones, and I even got some really funny heirloom orange ones that are really cool. And I just can't, you know, turn down growing eggplants because they do so well. Even though they're not particularly one of my favorite fruits, I will turn these guys into eggplant bacon one of these days. Next, let's talk about the leafy greens. Leafy greens are one of the most important foods that I think everybody should be including in their diet each and every day. After all, my channel is called Growing Your Greens, so yes, even in the middle of summer in the desert, you know, 100-degree days, I'm growing my greens. And one of the ones that I'm proud to let you guys know works really well, the dinosaur kale, or lactacino kale, lactinato kale, whatever you want to call it, black kale, Tuscan kale, there's so many different words for it. I mean, literally, if you go down to the local organic produce shop called Whole Foods, I like to call them Whole Paycheck, you know, they'll charge you $3 for literally 6 leaves. But look at this. The leaves are growing so amazingly now in the middle of the summer. Earlier in the season, what happened was these guys were hit bad with aphids, but we controlled the aphids, and now these guys are growing really well, super well actually. I can't necessarily recommend growing red Russian kale, which is my other usually summer kale to grow. Actually, it hasn't done quite well this summer, but the dinosaur kale is done really good and tastes oh so good as well. So another leafy green you can grow quite successfully in the desert right here. It's called the rhubarb spinach. That's what it was called actually anyways. When I went to Houston, I like to call it red Malabar spinach. It's a nice succulent leaf. It's a tropical. It'll grow great in tropical places like South Florida, Hawaii as well. Man, I love these guys. They're nice and succulent. These are some little seedlings that I've started. and they're growing quite well, and they're soon to be transplanted out. Now these guys are viners, so you want to give them a nice trellis to climb up, and man, they're gonna put on a lot of leaves for you guys to eat. So my other favorite leafy green to grow, Swiss chard. The Swiss chards are definitely good, and they grow right through the summer, middle of the heat. They do fine. Actually, I like the chard because literally you could plant them in the springtime. They'll last all the way through to the next spring. I mean, it happens every year here. Happens for me in California as well. And, you know, can't go wrong with some Swiss chard. And I especially love this nice saltiness flavor of the stalks. Of course, my last leafy green vegetable to grow in the desert in the summertime in the heat, it's gotta be purple perennial tree collards. These guys, I mean, if I lift this guy up straight, towers over me, man. This guy's probably like 8 feet tall now. I mean, right through the summer, grows well. You gotta remember to water it enough. If you underwater, the leaves are gonna grow really small. If you give it more water, then the leaves are gonna grow big and it's gonna grow more lush. It does like to stay wet, and if you water it, you're gonna be rewarded with a lot of nice, delicious leaves. Now, they do get a bit spicier and hotter in the summertime, so I tend to eat them, but not as much as when they're in the wintertime, when the sweetness really comes out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. We'll see you next time, and remember, keep on growing. All right, this is John Kohler with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. This is going to be a fun one. At that, as you guys can see, I'm still recovering from my broken arm here, and you know.